JD Vance, Donald Trump's 2024 running mate, weird? Depends on who you ask, but his marriage to lawyer Usha Vance is definitely unusual.
The most interesting person I knew. A working class guy who had overcome childhood traumas that I could barely fathom to end up at Yale Law School.
3-year-old Mirabelle Vance stole the show during parts of the inauguration events, doing all the toddler things.
Something astonishing just happened with JD and Usha Vance's daughter, Mirabelle, and you won't believe what it is. Was it a heartwarming milestone, a jaw-dropping transformation, or something even more unexpected? Speculation is running wild, and the reactions from the Vance family say everything. But here is the real question. What exactly happened that left everyone stunned? Get ready, because the full story will leave you speechless. Stay tuned for all the surprising details. Meet the Vance family. JD and Usha Vance are not just another political couple, they are one of the most talked about families in America. Their journey is nothing short of inspiring. From JD's tough upbringing,
he returns determined to work on the very problems that made his childhood there so turbulent, about a childhood most people would not want to risk revisiting,
to his rise to the White House and Usha's influential role as second lady. Now their youngest daughter, Mirabelle, is stepping into the spotlight. But before we dive into the major change that left JD and Usha emotional, let's take a look at their story. JD Vance did not grow up with wealth or privilege. Born into a struggling working-class family in Middletown, Ohio, his childhood was filled with financial hardships, family troubles, and personal struggles. Instead of letting his circumstances define him, he fought his way out. His life took a major turn when he wrote Hillbilly Elegy, a book about his difficult childhood.
JD Vance, as the author of a best-selling book about life and the struggles of being raised in Appalachia, Hillbilly Elegy,
and the struggles of working-class Americans. The book became an instant bestseller, turning JD into a national figure. It was not just a memoir, it was a wake-up call about poverty in America. People saw him as someone who truly understood hardship, a reputation that followed him into politics. After leaving his career in venture capital, JD ran for the U.S. Senate in Ohio, winning in 2022 with strong support from figures like Donald Trump. But that was just the beginning. As Trump searched for a running mate for the 2024 election, JD emerged as the perfect choice, young, outspoken, and with a compelling personal story. After Trump's victory, JD became the Vice President of the United States.
Tonight, JD Vance is the vice president-elect and potentially the heir apparent to the MAGA movement.
Now balancing one of the most powerful roles in the country with his responsibilities as a father. While JD's rise was remarkable, Usha's story is just as fascinating. Born in San Diego to Indian immigrant parents, Usha Chilukuri was an exceptionally bright student. While studying at Yale Law School, she met JD, a disciplined Marine from a working-class background with big ambitions.
She has a bachelor's degree from Yale University and was also a Gates Scholar at Cambridge University. She went back to Yale to study law, which is when she first met JD Vance.
After Yale, she built an impressive legal career, clerking for Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts and working at a top law firm. Though she preferred to stay out of the spotlight, Usha's intelligence, grace, and style quickly made her one of Washington's most admired women. As Second Lady, she's known for her sharp legal mind, impeccable fashion sense, and ability to handle intense political scrutiny. Whether she is juggling the chaos of raising 3 young kids or attending high-profile diplomatic events, she does it all effortlessly. JD and Usha have 3 children, 2 sons, Ewan and Vivek, and their youngest daughter, Mirabelle. And right now, all eyes are on Mirabelle as she takes center stage in a way no one expected. What is the big change that has everyone talking? Stay tuned to find out. Mirabelle Vance, the unexpected star. Everyone's talking about. JD and Usha Vance have always tried to keep their children away from politics, but little Mirabelle has captured everyone's attention in a way no one expected. During Trump's 2025 inauguration, 3-year-old Mirabelle became an instant internet sensation.
JD Vance's daughter, Mirabelle, was the spotlight. While the ceremony was filled with serious moments, this 3-year-old brought smile every single where.
Dressed in a bright red cape, With Scooby-Doo bandages on her fingers, she stood out in the crowd. As JD took his oath, she sucked her thumb, completely unfazed by the historic moment. Her carefree presence stole the show, and within hours, her pictures spread worldwide. People couldn't get enough of her adorable innocence in the middle of such a serious event. Now, Mirabel is back in the spotlight, but for a completely different reason. Reports suggest something deeply emotional happened, something that left JD and Usha in tears. What could it be? What major change did Mirabel go through that has everyone talking? The 2025 inauguration was meant to be all about politics, but instead, Mirabel became the highlight of the event. Social media exploded with reactions to her playful appearance, and soon, Number Little Mirabel was trending. Some called her a tiny fashion icon, while others simply admired her natural charm. Her outfit, her thumb-sucking, and the way she clung to her mother became the talk of the internet. Even news outlets couldn't stop covering her, with some calling her the most relatable person at the entire ceremony. But that was just the beginning. Weeks later, Mirabel's name resurfaced, and this time, it was not just about her cute inauguration moment. Something had changed, and it was impossible to ignore. What is going on with Mirabel, the moment that left JD and Usha emotional? Politicians' children often get some attention, but Mirabel's situation is different. Maybe it's because she brings a refreshing innocence to such a serious environment, or maybe people are just drawn to her in an unexpected way. Whatever the reason, she has sparked massive curiosity. Now she is back in the public eye, but this time, it's not because of a viral video or a sweet moment. Something bigger is happening, and the speculation is growing. Some believe she looks completely different now.
His youngest, Mirabel, adorably had her thumb in her mouth. She also had some colorful band-aids around several of her fingers.
Others think she has reached a major milestone that took her parents by surprise. But what really got people talking was JD and Usha's reaction. Politicians are known for keeping their emotions in check, but this time they couldn't hide their feelings. What could have caused such an emotional response? The mystery surrounding Mirabel only deepens. What really happened? Keep watching as the truth unfolds. Something about Mirabel caught JD and Usha off guard, and their reaction did not go unnoticed. Some believe JD's eyes welled up, while others say Usha seemed unusually emotional, as if she had recently experienced something deeply moving. Speculation is running wild. Did Mirabel do something unexpected? Was there a shocking revelation that no one else saw? People are eager to uncover the truth. Why is everyone talking about Mirabel? The Vance family has remained silent, leaving plenty of room for theories. Some suggest a simple explanation. Mirabel is not a toddler anymore, and her sudden growth took her parents by surprise. Watching their little girl change so quickly may have been an overwhelming moment for JD and Usha. Others think she underwent a noticeable transformation, a drastic haircut, a bold new fashion choice. Maybe she appeared so different from what her parents were used to that it caught them off guard. Then there are more serious possibilities. Could there have been a health scare? Did Mirabel overcome something difficult, leaving her family feeling relieved and grateful? While there's no evidence of this, it has not stopped people from wondering. Another theory is that Mirabel said something deeply touching. Children often surprise adults with their words, and sometimes a simple sentence can carry immense meaning. Did she say something that struck an emotional chord with JD and Usha? The truth remains a mystery. No one knows for sure what happened, but one thing is clear: JD and Usha's reaction has only fueled curiosity. If it was just a small moment, why did they seem so moved? Is there something bigger happening behind the scenes? Some believe it was just an emotional parenting moment, while others suspect it could hint at something more significant within the Vance family. Could it be a realization about their growing public image? A deeply personal milestone for Mirabel? Or perhaps a private family matter that unexpectedly surfaced in a public setting? The internet is searching for answers, and the speculation is not slowing down. Every little detail is being analyzed: expressions, gestures, even their body language during the event. What is the real story behind the Vance family's emotional response? Let's break it all down. Mirabel's heartwarming moment and a surprising transformation. Growing up in the background of political events, Mirabel was never the center of attention until now. No one expected her to become so well known in such a surprising way. Did she wave confidently at the cameras, say something unexpectedly mature, show a new side of her personality that hinted at who she is becoming? Maybe JD and Usha suddenly saw their little girl not as a baby, but as the person she is growing into, and that realization can be emotional for any parent. Sometimes, even small changes can feel huge. Did Mirabel debut a striking new haircut, making her look completely different from how she did on Inauguration Day? Maybe she experimented with fashion and wore something that made her seem much older than before. For a family constantly in the public eye, even the smallest changes can stand out. If Mirabel suddenly looked unfamiliar to them, it's easy to see why JD and Usha might have been caught off guard. Of course, it's all just speculation. There's no claim of anything dramatic. But could it have been something more personal? Maybe she overcame a small health challenge, hit a major developmental milestone, or simply surprised her parents in an unexpected way. Children grow and change so fast that sometimes their progress takes parents by surprise. Could Mirabel have done something that made JD and Usha emotional, out of relief, pride, or pure joy? Not every big reaction comes from a major event. What if Mirabel did something incredibly sweet, something that melted her parents' hearts? Perhaps she said something wise beyond her years, showed an unexpected act of love, or had a moment of kindness that made JD and Usha realize just how quickly she is growing up. No matter what happened, one thing is certain: it was important enough to bring out real emotion from JD and Usha. And while the internet is full of wild guesses, the real story might be even more touching than anyone expects. Internet theories take over. The moment JD and Usha showed unexpected emotion, social media went into a frenzy. Platforms like X, formerly Twitter and Reddit, exploded with theories, some funny, some outrageous, and a few that made people stop and think. Speculation ran wild, with users dissecting every detail of the moment, from their facial expressions to Mirabel's presence. One of the most talked about ideas? That Mirabel had some kind of glow-up at just 3 years old. Sounds unbelievable, but when has that ever stopped the internet? Some even compared her to other famous political children, questioning if she was stepping into a role she did not even realize she had. The internet cannot stop making headlines about Mirabel's moment. Users quickly started comparing past and recent photos of Mirabel, trying to figure out if she had changed overnight. Did she suddenly look older? Did her outfit make her seem more mature? Some joked that she already had a better sense of style than most adults, while others thought she might have had a growth spurt that made her look beyond her years. A few even speculated that the difference could be something as simple as a fresh haircut or a shift in her posture that made her seem more grown up. It's amusing to think about, but in a world obsessed with transformations, even toddlers are not spared from speculation. However, not everyone focused on her appearance. Some pointed out how naturally she commanded attention. One viral post even said, "Forget JD and Usha, Mirabel is the real star of the Vance family." And honestly, they might have a point. She first stole the spotlight during Inauguration Day with her red cape and Scooby-Doo bandages. Now she is making headlines again. Even without trying, Mirabel has a way of capturing people's interest, whether it's her playful nature, her interactions with her parents, or simply the fact that she is a child in a highly public setting. Some even joked that she is the secret weapon of the Vance family's public image. Whether intentional or not, one thing is clear: whenever Mirabel is around, all eyes are on her. If JD and Usha weren't prepared for this level of fascination, that could explain their emotional reaction. Some parents have a moment where they realize their child is no longer just their little one, but someone the world is watching. And maybe, for JD and Usha, that moment came sooner than expected. More than just a family moment? As theories continued, some people believed this was not just an emotional parenting moment, it was something deeper. Could Mirabel represent the next generation of the Vance family stepping into history? JD and Usha are already among the most watched political figures in the country. Seeing their youngest child unknowingly step into the public eye may have made them realize how quickly time is passing. Parents often experience a moment where they suddenly see their child in a new light, not just as their baby, but as a growing individual. One Reddit user put it this way: what if JD and Usha realized that their family legacy is already unfolding right in front of them? For JD, who came from a working-class background and wrote Hillbilly Elegy about his struggles,
JD Vance is already best known for his tumultuous childhood, which is the subject of his memoir Hillbilly Elegy.
seeing his daughter in this moment might have felt surreal. For Usha, who built her career through education and hard work, it could have been a powerful reminder of how far they've come. Whatever the real reason behind their reaction, one thing is certain: the internet is not letting this go anytime soon. People are hooked on the mystery, analyzing every possible angle. Was it just a deeply emotional parenting moment? A realization of their growing public legacy? Or was it something completely unexpected? Until JD or Usha address it directly, which they probably won't, the speculation will continue. Mirabelle, the toddler who stole the spotlight. Let's be honest, this won't be the last time Mirabelle grabs attention. If anything, this moment has only reinforced her status as a public fascination. Whether she intends to or not, she has a natural ability to make headlines, and at this rate, it won't be long before she is back in the spotlight. Her charm is not just about her presence at major events. It's the way she interacts with those around her. Whether it's an innocent gesture, a curious glance, or just her natural confidence, people are drawn to her. Unlike most children in the political sphere who are kept away from the public eye, Mirabelle seems to effortlessly steal the show. Some even compare her to past high-profile political kids who unintentionally became cultural icons. As much as JD and Usha might try to shield her from too much attention, Mirabelle's growing public presence raises a bigger question. Will she continue to play a visible role in their journey? Political families often walk a fine line between maintaining privacy and embracing the unavoidable spotlight. So far, Mirabelle seems to be at the center of it all, whether planned or not. The real question is, how will JD and Usha handle it moving forward? Will they step back and let her naturally fade from the media's focus? Or will they embrace the reality that their daughter has already become a symbol of their public image? The truth behind the viral moment. So, what actually happened? Was there a major revelation, a dramatic change, or is this just another case of the internet turning a small moment into a big spectacle? Yes, emotions were high on Inauguration Day. It was a significant event for the Vance family. But was there really an unexpected transformation for Mirabelle? The facts suggest otherwise. Think about it. A 3-year-old suddenly stepping into the national spotlight is bound to stir emotions. Maybe JD and Usha were just having a heartfelt moment, watching their daughter be part of something historic. Maybe it was the simple reality of parenthood. One moment they are little kids, the next they are making memories in front of the world. Parents get emotional all the time. First steps, first words, first day of school. Any milestone can bring tears. This could have been just one of those moments, pure, natural, and touching, before the internet turned it into something much bigger. Maybe Mirabelle waved at the crowd in a way that melted hearts. Maybe she said something innocent yet powerful that caught her parents off guard. Or maybe, just maybe, the internet took a regular family moment and turned it into a viral mystery. What is next for Mirabelle? Watching their daughter in the spotlight, seeing the world take notice, and realizing how quickly she is growing up, it was undoubtedly an emotional experience for JD and Usha. While their reaction remains a mystery, one thing is clear: Mirabelle's presence has sparked national interest, and this likely won't be the last time. But what does the future hold for her? At just 3 years old, Mirabelle has already left an impression that most public figures take years to establish. Will she continue to be a familiar face at events? Or will JD and Usha choose to keep her more private as she grows older? Some political families prefer to keep their children out of the limelight as much as possible, while others allow them to embrace their role in history. As JD takes on his role as vice president, the Vance family will have to navigate these decisions carefully. Will Mirabelle's natural charisma make her a staple at public events? Or will this viral moment be just a fleeting memory? One thing is certain: people will be watching. Whether it's another unexpected appearance, a candid family moment, or just the internet's obsession with her growing up, Mirabel's name is not disappearing anytime soon. Balancing public life and parenthood. Some political families keep their children away from the public eye, while others embrace the attention, allowing them to attend events and even play small roles. So where do JD and Usha Vance stand? At just 3 years old, Mirabel has already become a familiar name, but that doesn't mean she'll grow up in front of the cameras. JD and Usha might choose to protect her privacy, ensuring she has a normal childhood away from the media. Politics is a tough world, and growing up under constant scrutiny is not easy. However, Mirabel's natural ability to draw attention might make that difficult. Even if her parents try to keep things private, she could continue making headlines, whether through public appearances, casual family moments, or viral clips. She might unintentionally become one of the most recognized children in American politics. But this is not just about Mirabel. JD and Usha have 2 other children who have mostly stayed out of the spotlight. Will that change now that JD is vice president?
Now that President Trump is back in the White House, JD Vance is officially the Vice President of the United States.
Could we start seeing more of the entire Vance family at public events? The challenges of raising a family in the spotlight. Parenting is never easy, but doing it under national attention is an entirely different challenge. JD and Usha have always appeared as a strong, close-knit family, but life as the second family brings new pressures. Every parenting decision will be watched, and protecting their children's privacy will remain a constant concern. As second lady, Usha will play a key role in balancing public responsibilities and family life. She has already shown grace under pressure, but how will she handle this new chapter? Will she take a step back to focus on her children, or will she continue her public duties while raising them in the national spotlight? Meanwhile, JD will be occupied with his duties as vice president, adding another layer of complexity to their already busy lives. What is next for the Vance family? As JD steps into his role as vice president, one big question remains: how will he balance his duties with fatherhood in the public eye? Some leaders embrace family life in the spotlight, while others keep it private. Will JD follow suit, or will he take a different path? If this viral moment has shown us anything, it is that the Vance family has a way of capturing attention, whether they mean to or not. From Mirabel's unexpected stardom to the growing public curiosity about their lives, they have become a family people cannot stop talking about. As time goes on, will we see more heartwarming Mirabel moments? Will the Vances open up about their personal lives, or will they step back from the public gaze? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the world will be watching. Thanks for tuning in. Share your thoughts about this whole scenario in the comments section below.